Hey, welcome back to another episode of My Thoughts. Um, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about being presence, what that means, and kind of what it means to me. And in a kind of similar vein, contentment. Because I really do think that they go hand in hand. And our presence is a very tricky thing. In the sense that it's a game that's impossible to escape. And it seems as though we have this constructed notion of there being these three types of time: the present, the past, and the future. Which really makes no sense to me, in the sense that we're always in the present. It doesn't matter if you hypothetically went back in time. You could be in the quote-unquote past, but you really wouldn't call it the past, because even in the past, you're experiencing those emotions, those feelings, those senses in the present moment as they come to you. They're not predefined, say. And even our concept of the past or of the future comes to us in the present moment. And so I'll say one more thing about that, in the sense that if you went back in time, you wouldn't say you're from the present, because you already are in the present, back in whatever this place is. But you'd say you're from the future because you already are in the present. You can't escape the present. The present is everywhere and everything you go and do and experience. And so that's why I think it's a very funny thing when people tell you to be present, be attentive, be alert, but especially be present. And it just seems like such a misuse of the word, I'd say. Because we're always present, right? It's just a matter of where we send that presence. And I mean, a lot of the time we can't even control it. And in the sense that there's always these deeper folds and deeper layers of our mind that are always thinking and doing things we don't realize subconsciously. And so, even as we try to collect our thoughts, be in the present, right? Listen to what this teacher is saying. Collect your thoughts, scrunch your face, and squint so you can see better, right? But we're already in the present. We just gave ourselves the notion that we've collected some of it into whatever we're trying to give our attention to. And so I know I'm rambling here a little bit, and hopefully the blender in the background isn't too loud. But I think what I'm trying to say here is that we always have our presence. And there's no way you can escape it. There's ways you can direct some of it, but never all of it. Because we're just not capable of it. And even in our collecting of the presence, we're still trying to do something of which that action we may not be conscious of, right? And this gets into the multi-layered question of can we watch ourselves? Can we experience ourselves if we are ourselves? Can we be the watcher and the watched at the same time? And if not, which are we? Or are we some complex combination of both? Are you the watcher of your ego? Right? Or are you the ego being watched by the rest of the world, I guess, or the rest of the universe? And I think we get caught up in this watcher and watched thing, in the sense that it causes us to differentiate ourselves as these separate organisms, as something different, as something unique, something that's bigger and better. We're not part of nature. We're humans, right? We're not part of the natural world. Nature is this other thing, Mother Nature. But we're above that. We deserve some kind of higher title, if you will. And I really don't think we're either the watcher or the watched. But more so the experiencer, in the sense of a sponge. And I say this because the watcher and the watched is very self-focused. It's very I am the everything, right? Because I am the everything, when you say the watcher or the watched, you assume that it's referring to yourself, right? But really, it can be referring to the entire universe, because you are the entire universe. And so once we deconstruct this fallacy of self independence from everything, we start to realize all of our interconnectedness. And that just as you can't be the experiencer and the experienced